Hello everybody, this is Krista from Adventures in Metaphysics, and today I have a very exciting flip through for you. So here I have the indie version of Prairie Majesty Oracle, which is hands down my favorite Oracle deck. It works just really well with all of the decks that I have, and just the questions it asks, the animals it shows, is just something I've really connected to. This is actually the first indie deck I ever bought. And I have the new HayHouse Mass Market Edition, which I am so excited that I decided to pick this one up. I was unsure if I was going to because I'm so connected to my indie version, but then I realized that Rachel and I could always use one at work. And I never really wanted to bring my indie edition because it's so special to me. So I got the HayHouse version for us to keep and use at work, which I'm very excited about. But I thought it would be fun to do a kind of side-by-side comparison to see, what's similar, what's different. I know this deck has 4 new cards, and I'm very excited about those. They showed them throughout the month of March, I believe, to Kara and Amy on their Instagrams, and so it was really cool to get a sneak peek at those, but I'm excited to have them to see for myself. So anyhow, I think we'll start with the boxes. So as you can see, the HayHouse version is a little bit shorter, but much brighter in color, which I think is really fun. But other than that, it seems like they kept a lot the same. That the sides, so this side is a bit different to have that sort of logoing, which, of course makes sense. But these are the same. Very cool. Okay, and these are the backs. So our explanations of what the deck is a little bit different on the back as well, which is that's interesting. I'm kind of excited to get to read these because this one looks a little bit more in depth. I love this writing here. Anything Kara writes is fantastic. But I'm excited to read that later. I won't sit here and have you watch a silent video. But anyhow, these are the boxes. I don't have mine kept in here, but I wanted to bring it out just to show. So the inside of this one is pink, and then it says explore your sovereign nature, and we have listen to hear. And these are the sides. Look here to see. Very cool. I love that box. So then let's get... Oh, awesome. Okay, so this is... So it looks like they kind of just flip-flopped them here, which I'm totally okay with. So we've got the green on top still with explore your sovereign nature. I'm really glad they kept that because I think it's such an interesting statement there. I love that. So we have listen to hear in pink. Sides. So the sides are a bit different. Look here to see. Oh no, sorry, they're not different. Just pink. Let's see the other side. Oh, the same. I'm really loving that it seems like not much was changed from the indie version to the mass market version. I know there's talk, not just about this deck, but I know there's talk in general about some people not really liking when mass market versions come out and they are very similar to the indie edition because it sort of, in their eyes maybe takes away from the value of the indie edition. My opinion, and again, this is my own personal opinion, I totally get where people are coming from with that one, because if you went out of your way to purchase the indie edition and then it comes out not much longer after that as a mass market, I could see wanting to have some reason why you kind of spent probably much more money on the indie edition. Anyhow, my opinion on that is just, I don't really have a problem with it. I think it's really exciting to see that this is a thing that can and is happening, where we have these indie decks come out that are so wonderful and so well thought out, and that these mass market producers are picking them up in order to make them accessible to, most everyone. It brings it down to a price point that's easier because they're just able to produce more. But I'm loving that the mass market companies aren't really taking away that artistic agency, if that makes sense. I think it's really cool that they're able to stay true to their vision. I think if this was all changed around, it would kind of be taking, again, away that initial vision, and I think that would kind of be a shame. But again, that's just my own opinion, so we will stop babbling about that and get into the cards. So I keep my indie edition in this super, super pretty Moonlit Fae bag that is a collaboration between her and Kara and Amy. So we've got the green on here with all these little doodles that match up with the deck, and the pink on the inside, which is so, so pretty. All right. So here it looks like the guidebooks again are the same on the cover, just this one is a bit brighter, which is nice. Ooh, we've got something on it. That's okay. I think it's just a little bit of glue. And it's gone. So this one's a bit more of like a blue color. This is a bit teal. That's the same. And now we get a little, oh, I love that. We get little kind of bibliographies, sorry, not bibliographies, author bios on the back, which I think is so, so cool. So that's a difference there. Now, I do know the difference that Kara talked about on her Instagram is that the mass market doesn't have the colored page edges to get to the specific colors of the card. They're broken up into 4 categories in this deck, if you haven't seen it before. And the indie version has them marked, basically. So it makes it really easy to get to the card meanings. The mass market does not. But I don't think that's any sort of drawback by any means. And something that I've seen people do is they'll take markers and edge their guidebooks so that they can easily turn to, say if it's a tarot deck, you can easily turn to the different suits. I think that would be super cool to do with this guidebook, and it might be something I want to try out. I bet even if you got different colored highlighters, you can mark them in these colors yourself, which I think would be kind of fun. I can't remember if this one has spreads in it. I'm kind of thinking it might. I don't think it does. Oh, so that's amazing. So the indie edition actually, am I wrong? Hold on. Oh no, we've got spreads. Okay, I couldn't remember. So the mass market version seems to keep those spreads that we get in the beginning, which I think it's really cool when deck creators add something like that in. It just adds, again, a little bit more of that vision into kind of what they intended with the work, which I think is really awesome. So the different categories of these cards we have are do, know, claim, and the last one should be feel. Yes, so the do is in yellow, know is pink, feel is blue, and claim is green, I believe. So let's get into the cards. Oh, I love that these ones were just packaged with this paper. I'm not a huge fan when they come in that plastic wrap. Of course, for, environmental reasons, but also I get so nervous that I'm gonna scratch the cards when I try to get into them. Okay, we'll move the box out of the way. So another difference is that the indie edition did have these really nice rose gold edges. But I will say, again, same idea as with the guidebook. I think it'd be really fun to edge these and even maybe edge them in the different colors. Because while I do love this rose gold edging, you can see mine is kind of taken a beating with how much I use it. So it does chip, so I think there's pros and cons to both. So let's see, it looks like the shape of the cards are pretty much the same. I think the mass market is, it's a little bit more rounded. But the colors are noticeably brighter, I think, which is really cool. And I think the cardstock feels, I'm not a cardstock expert, but it feels decently similar to me. This one might be slightly thicker with a bit more of a matte coating, but I think this really compares well. Okay, so we have bald eagle with soar. So already we see that the artwork is exactly the same, which I think is really, again, amazing that they were able to do that. Beaver, build. My favorite part about this deck is these questions up here. So when you pull, I really like to use this in a way where I'll pull an oracle card first and ask my tarot deck the question up here. And it's always so seamless. I love it. Oh, okay, so we're at our first extra card. We've got Bobcat. How can I go higher? Climb. I love this card. I saw my first Bobcat the other day. It was a little scary. Not that I was outside, but bobcats can be slightly scary. They make a very interesting noise, but really cool all the same. Oh, and we have the same backs as well. All right, coyote, play. Dragonfly, turn. Eastern tiger swallowtail with emerge. Grasshopper, jump. Killdeer, strut. Prairie dog, dig. Prairie mound ant, work. Red-tailed hawk, dive. Wildfire. Bison is bee. So as you can see, these really are so similar. I think honestly the only thing is just the coloring and it being slightly different cards. Like, as you can, the edges are even, you know, more of a true black on this mass market edition. Compass plant, map, crow, notice, deer mouse, nest, great blue heron, reflect, great horned owl, here, ladybug, charm. I love this card. Mallard, dabble, stink bug, flip, 13 lined ground squirrel, remember. Oh, okay, here's another one. So we've got walnut tree. I was so excited to see this one. I really love the different plant cards in here because I think this is the only deck I have that does kind of incorporates both animals and plants, but to me it still feels like an animal deck, which you know, personally for me is a good thing because I don't tend to connect with plants so much, but this really works. It kind of gives me the same feeling as if I pulled one of the animal cards. I really get a feel for what that plant is about. So we've got walnut tree with crack. What do I know without knowing why or how? So interesting. All right, white-tailed deer, trust. Cottonwood, glitter. I love this card too. Isn't that so pretty? Dixisel? I never know if I'm saying that one right. Dixisel is warble. Earthworm, breathe. Eastern cottontail, nurture. Elk, endure. Honeybee, sweeten. Oh, look at the frog. Leopard frog with swim. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. All right, prairie smoke, liberate. River, soothe. Turkey vulture, digest. Wild bergamot, delight. Wind, blow. Badger, defend. Big blue stem, shelter. Black-footed ferret, take over. Box turtle, Carrie. I love box turtles. I mean, honestly, all of the extra cards I feel like were such good additions, but I was really excited to see this one. Butterfly, milkweed, match. Luna moth, radiate. Meadowlark, protect. Mountain lion, stalk. Prairie king snake, shed. Prairie soil, hold. Purple coneflower, heal. And striped skunk, clear. Now we're gonna get into these sort of extras. We've got the sun, the moon, the clouds, oh sorry, the sky, and the stars. Wow, I am seriously impressed with this HayHouse version of the Prairie Majesty Oracle. Again, I just think it's really, really cool that such an amazing deck is able to be accessed by everyone now. So if you did miss out on the indie edition and this is one you think you might be interested in, the mass market is like insanely comparable, in my opinion. The artwork is all the same. The colors are a little bit brighter. I think it could be a lot of fun to edge the deck and edge the guidebook. They just did a really amazing job on this. I'm really impressed and really excited to, you know, be able to keep my indie edition that I feel really connected to, you know, at home, sort of for my own use, but still be able to have one to take me with me now, kind of wherever I go, which I totally see myself doing. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed that little comparison. I was really excited myself to get to see that. And I hope you have a great beginning to your week.